As you see here, I have a mug for each season. I don't know if you can see that kind of in there, but I'm going to show you how I make these mugs with the chattered bottom and a carved different season for each of the 4 mugs. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Let's get going. Before I do the video showing you how to make these mugs, I did want to give a shout out to the wonderful teachers who are working so hard to provide an education to our kids, even though we are a distance apart from each other. I know some teachers do that all the time in cyber charter environments, and some teachers are brand new to this, but I appreciate the efforts that you're going through. I know it's making a difference for my kids. I can see it at my home, and so I wanted to thank you for all of the work that you're doing. And again, having to have my kids at home and help them along that process with my wife and I working together, it makes us appreciate you some more. So thank you so much for the effort and the work that you're doing. Now let's do an art lesson. Hopefully this is something fun that you can do at home. Here we have 4 mugs that have all been thrown to have the same basic form. And I'm going to create the season mugs out of them. Let me show you a little bit of carving. It's a little bit soft here, so I haven't done the trimming yet, and I'm going to chatter the bottom. I tried chattering this one, but it was a little bit wet still, so I'm going to let them dry a little bit more. But the consistency is good for carving in the mug, so I'm going to go ahead and show that first of how I carve the different trees. Before showing you the carving, I do want to give a shout out to Dante from Earth Nation Ceramics. He did a YouTube video on how to do carving, and I'd never thought of carving into a mug. I was like, oh, this is a nice mug. It looks pretty cool the way it is, and I hadn't thought of actually carving into it until he showed how easy it could be. So I definitely need to give a shout out to him. I would not have thought of making these trees the way that I did, and I just took what I learned from him and some practice and kind of expanded it into this seasonal collection. So thanks, Dante, for inspiring me to try something a little bit new, and I hope that you guys like this video. First that I'm going to carve on here is winter. That's the most simple tree design. It basically just requires a couple of lines. So I use this carving tool, and I'm using the smaller end for the branches, and then I'll use the larger end for the leaves. But this is the basics here. I'll just draw one line, then I'll have one branch going out this direction. I'm going to make this just a little bit more defined. And then I'm going to do the same, kind of going in this direction. I find it helpful to, when I'm going out that way, because I want to start near the main trunk of the tree. So I'm going to have 2 branches on this side, and again I want them kind of going in that direction. So brace my finger against the mug, gives me a little bit of leverage to just do a nice solid, whoa, that was a little thick there at the bottom. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to have to clean that up. There. And this one here. Okay. So again, not a huge fan with that one. I'll probably tidy that one up a little bit. There we go. Here's the spring tree, the same basic form as the winter, where we've got the 1 branch on this side, 2 on that side, and I used the small end actually for these leaves, kept them really small. So that one actually forgot to push record on the camera. So there's the spring. Making the summer is actually, I think, the most challenging of them, because we want it to look completely full while making it seem like it's the same tree. So again, I'm going to carve that first main trunk. I have 1 on this side here. I'm going to bring it out a little bit further. That gives room for more leaves in between. I'm going to flip it over and still do these same 2 here, but again, kind of make them come out just a little bit more. So we've got a lot of room for the leaves. Then I switch to this one here. The ends are actually very similar. But I'm going to switch to this larger, slightly larger tool for making the leaves. And with the leaves, what you do is you dig in and then pull out. You'll get that kind of shape. Let me do that again. Dig in and pull out. Dig in and pull out. See that? Now I'm getting some leaves. And with the summer, we really want to make the tree seem like it's full. It's got, whoa, that was kind of an ugly leaf. We've got lots of leaves. So we've got leaves off the ends. We've got leaves in between. And while less is more for most of these, for the summer tree, I really feel like we're going for fullness, right? We're going to move into fall. Now fall is the most dynamic of all the seasons, the way that I draw it. So my tree is going to be kind of like the wind is blowing it. So I'm going to have the main trunk kind of going sideways like this. We've got all of the same 3 branches, right? This one, and this one. So you've got sort of a dynamic look, like the wind is blowing it. And then I'm going to make those leaves, and there won't be as many leaves as the summer. Not small leaves like in the spring though. So we're going to definitely have some leaves, and the leaves are all also going in that direction, because we're kind of giving the illusion that the wind is blowing. And what I like to do is add maybe a couple of leaves over here that are maybe blowing in the wind. So we've got our fall tree with our leaves being blown away. And that, I'll tidy this up a bit, but that will conclude the 4 seasons. We've got winter, spring, summer, and fall. I want to show you chattering up really close. This is when you take a tool, and I'm going to use this rib tool here. I like this one with the sharp point here, because that lets me kind of get into the corners. What I'm going to do is, as the wheel spins in this direction, I'm going to hold the tool into the spin, which you normally don't do, and you're going to see it vibrating as it kind of takes chunks out of the pot. So watch as I do this. So I'm going to hold it pretty securely, but the end of it's going to be vibrating. So watch. See that? So the end is taking off chunks of clay. And you can't really see it, what it's done, until you stop the wheel. So it's kind of like a mystery. I'll flip it over and get down here as well. Again, I like that point because then I can go exactly where I want it to go. Getting some pretty decent chunks out, and then I stop the wheel, and you can see right there, look at that texture that this has created. Love it. Alright, let's pull that off and take a look. With the carving of the fall tree, and with the texture down there, I will need to tidy that up just a little bit. I do like that quite a bit. Thanks so much for joining with me for an episode of Two Guys Throwing Pots. I know, because of quarantine, there was only one guy throwing any pots today. But tune into the channel and check out the things that Steve and Amy are doing. They're projects that you can do at home with art, with your family. Is really cool and fun. And hopefully we'll have another video for you next week. I'll do the pottery ones, and then Steve's been doing some more art you can do at home. I hope that's been helpful for you, and stay tuned. And eventually we might have, in the future, 2 guys throwing pots again. But until then, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.